into the universe is like taking a trip down memory lane. The farther from Earth we look, the farther back in time we see. The farther back in time we see.
I like the new title card. Nice. Nice. I don't like the new background noise though. Cut it out.
Sorry, Greg got a new toy.
Oh, if this is anything like the printer.
No, this is much better. Or worse, depending on your perspective.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, welcome to episode 72 of the most must-see show to ever hit the Bedford TV airwaves, or any airwaves for that matter, the Wrestling Connection. I am your host, as always, your connection to the wrestling world, Mr. Encyclopedia himself, Ken Hill. Of course, I would have my co-hosts with me, but they cannot be here this week. Mr. J. Julian Warren, the current reigning and defending WK King of Pay-Per-View champion, and my good friend, my good buddy of 7 years, my best friend in the whole wide world, Mr. Zach Martinkus, the Mad Wolf himself. They sadly could not be here this week, but they are here with me in spirit, and even though we are deprived of co-hosts, I promise not to deprive you of all the fun and excitement of this week's Pay-Per-PreView. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This week is the WWE Battleground Pay-Per-PreView. Now, there have been lots. We have had 5 weeks worth of storyline build-up. We had a lot of payoffs here, leading into the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam. And we've had some hops, skips, and jumps. We've hit a road bump or two in terms of a couple of matches. I'll get on more to that. And of course, but first we will kick things off with the kickoff match. King What's Up himself, R-Truth, versus the king of the WWE Universe, king of the ring, King Bad News Barrett. Now, the whole kerfuffle here is that R-Truth has been more or less up in Barrett's grill about the notion of being the one and true king of WWE. That even though Barrett actually went through Truth on his way to winning the King of the Ring tournament, Truth has been hounding him ever since, even going so far as to wear a mockery of Barrett's cape and crown and royal scepter, which in case Truth used a plunger, which looked like he borrowed straight from T.L. Hopper. Yeah, a little WWF, old school WWF reference for you longtime fans. Now, anyway, this match here, this match here is just, it's the build-up, essentially the payoff for the kickoff. It's the payoff between these two, because in this case, the crown is on the line. Not just Barrett's title as King of the Ring. His literal crown is on the line here in this match. And these two have exchanged wins on and off at the last couple of pay-per-views, on and off on Raw and SmackDown. And I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, it's been a fun little thing. I cracked up the first couple of times I saw R-Truth with his king and crown and royal flush scepter. But the bottom line is, okay, I'm getting tired of this. I mean, they've made a mockery of King of the Ring. They're making a mockery of Barrett here, okay? I mean, this is the first remarkable win Barrett's had for a long time now. I mean, we're talking like a 5-time Intercontinental Championship, a 5-time Intercontinental Champion. We're talking a former Tag Team Champion. I mean, and Barrett's got so much potential in WWE, and it feels like WWE squanders that time and again. And I think this needs to be the jump-off point for Barrett. This needs to be where he finally breaks away from Truth, has a win where a match where he absolutely brutalizes Truth and leaves him in the dust. This is what I think will happen. That's why I'm going with King Barrett to get the win and finally put all of this to rest. All right, now I'll take this over to my lovely assistant, our ever so friendly producer, Mr. Brian Dorrington. Brian, what's your pick for the kickoff match?
I'm going with Barrett, but only because I feel bad for the guy. Guy can't buy a win. I mean, he's been losing ever since he really came back. I mean, he hasn't had any significant wins. I guess the King of the Ring, but I mean, that wasn't on a pay-per-view. You know, he has yet to have a significant pay-per-view win in probably over a year. So I think that they're not going to, you know, sink the ship on this guy. I think they're going to give him a big win here over Truth.
Yeah, okay, because I mean, I told this to Brian and Greg before the show started. Okay, if you're not going to give Barrett the win here, if you're going to have him lose the one remarkable thing he's won in the last couple of years, just let the guy go right now. Because frankly, you have a guy like this with so much potential, so much talent, so much raw ability, and you're just going to kick him around, then just let him go. That's all I got to say. All right, we come to the first real championship match of the evening.
Excuse me.
We have
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll just read off your ex-co-host, or not ex, but Zach's, who isn't here today, and he's going with Truth.
He's going with Truth for the win. We have yet to receive Julian's, but if we do receive him during the broadcast, I promise we will deliver him to you post-haste. Now we take this to Greg and his unofficial sidekick, Penn.
Yes.
To see what their picks are for
I'd like
for the
to thank
kickoff
Penn
match.
for helping me make these picks. First of all, we've doubled our wrestling knowledge, so I don't know what 0 times 2 is.
Yeah, but here's the problem, Greg. 2 times 0 is still 0.
Oh. All right. Well, we're gonna go with King Barrett on this one.
Is his mic on?
King Barrett.
I don't know, but he's going with Barrett.
Okay, he's going with Barrett.
Okay. Yes.
All right. All right, so now we go into our first true title match of the evening. That doesn't involve a crown. The tag team championships with the primetime players going up against the New Day. Now, ever since PTP have won the tag team titles, they've been on a roll. I mean, okay, they've pretty much dominated New Day in 6-man tags and singles competition. The New Day hasn't really picked up any momentum until really this week, where they got a win. They got a win on SmackDown over the Lucha Dragons. Now it seems like that PTP has found a way to undermine the numbers game here. They found a way to undermine New Day so that outside interference from the likes of Kingston or Big E or Xavier Woods doesn't play a factor. But it seems like that the New Day have grown increasingly desperate to get their championships back. It seems like we've seen cracks in the whole power positivity facade. And I think that's going to show here. I think we're going to see a new side to the New Day here. I think we're going to see a new layer to the New Day tag team. I mean, they've been one of the more entertaining aspects of what's been admittedly flagging tag team division. I think you need you need a team like the New Day to give PTP, the primetime players, and the Lucha Dragons and other tag teams motivation to chase after them, to want to knock these guys off their positivity pedestal. So in that case, I'm going with the New Day, whatever combination they may come up with. I think they're going to eke out a win here. I think we're going to see some new tactic that we haven't seen out of the New Day, or maybe instead of clapping, they'll snap. That's something I'd like to see happen here. So anyway, I'm going with the New Day, 2-time tag team champs. All right, so let's take it over to Brian and get his take on the tag team title match.
I'm going to go with New Day. They're just, too good of heels to not keep the belt on them,
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, sure, give them one loss. That makes them come back angrier and more annoying. So I think that's what they're doing here. I'm going to go with New Day.
Okay, and Zach's pick for the tag team title match?
Zach is actually going with the primetime players.
I can't. I mean, like I said, I mean they've been a credible champions since winning. And like I said, my pick's nothing against the primetime players. I'm just saying it'd be more interesting to see them and Lucha Dragons and other tag teams chasing after New Day for the belts. That's all I'm saying. All right, so now let's take it to Greg and Penn.
So I think we're going to go with New Day, and let's make that the lock of the night. Lock it in early.
Wow,
Yeah.
New Day for lock of the night. This should be interesting.
Yeah, I noticed that they're a team, so there's more than one of them. So I figure that gives me better odds.
Oh, Greg, your logic never fails to astound me.
He doesn't really get how it works, the lock.
No, I really don't.
Plus, I'm really good at tag.
Okay. Now, like I said, moving on to our next title match, which is the United States Championship match. Now, don't let the picture here fool you.
Yeah, why is he wearing the NXT championship?
Because it was the only one I could find, and the other one without the belt was one of those blank files that wouldn't have shown up. But anyway, it's misleading. I will properly inform everyone that at the Beast in the East special in Japan over a week ago, Kevin Owens did lose his NXT championship in a heavily contested fight to Finn Balor. Owens will be rematching for the NXT title at the next NXT TakeOver special, which is emanating live from Brooklyn, New York. But anyway, here right now is the U.S. title match between Cena and Owens. These men, I mean, this has been one of the hottest feuds in WWE in the last 2 months. Both men are at 1 win apiece. It's grown so personal between these two. I mean, we have the rubber match here, but there's just so much more than the U.S. title. It's about Owens establishing himself in WWE as the new status quo and knocking Cena off his proverbial perch. I mean, and it's not just Owens that has been pursuing Cena. We've seen Rusev and Cesaro, especially since his partner Tyson Kidd has gone on the injured list. Cesaro has quickly established himself in the U.S. title picture, having close near wins over John Cena in his 2 opportunities at the United States Championship, and putting in one heck of an effort in the triple threat match this past week on Raw to determine who would be Cena's latest challenger for the U.S. title open, only for Rusev to narrowly eke out the victory. However, Cesaro himself would pick up a huge victory this past Thursday on SmackDown over Rusev. A clean as a whistle win, hitting him with a midair uppercut followed by the neutralizer. Cesaro has been gaining a lot of stock in the singles division, and that's why I'm thinking that regardless of who comes out on top here in the U.S. title picture, we could very well see Cesaro get involved in the U.S. title picture come SummerSlam. I mean, we could be talking triple threat, and even with Rusev in the mix, we could even see a fatal 4-way. The wonders will never cease. But anyway, as far as this match goes, Cena, Owens, I mean, this, like I said, this is the rubber match. This is the 3rd match, and I gotta tell you, with Owens losing, I mean, he seems like he's been losing momentum. He's lost the NXT championship. It seems like he hasn't really been able to get the upper hand on Cena in recent weeks. I mean, the booking's there, the booking's set, and that would tell you, okay, that Owens is getting increasingly desperate, and he's going to go to even more lengths, more means to take the U.S. title from John Cena. So that's why I'm thinking, I mean, okay, they have to give Owens has got to get the win here. I mean, if Owens does not get the win after losing the NXT championship, after all the buildup he's gotten being established on Cena's level, on a high level like his, I mean, for him not to come away with the U.S. championship is almost heresy at this point. So that's why I'm going with Owens. I'm going with Owens to win the U.S. title. I'm making him my lock of the night. I'm locking it down. Kevin Owens, new U.S. champion, without a shadow of a doubt in my mind. Okay, let's take it. Let's hand it over to Brian, man. This is one of the big matches of the evening.
Well, I'm 100% sure that you're going to be wrong and Cena's going to win. He's just the face of the WWE franchise. He doesn't lose feuds. I mean, you saw what happened in the Rusev feud. You know, he ended up, you kept saying the same thing about Rusev that you're saying about Owens now. I think the U.S. title is made for John Cena. You know, he's that patriotic guy who's always saying, you know, keep trying your hardest, keep fighting, keep fighting. The U.S. title is made for him. I just don't see it going to a guy like Owens, you know, who's a disrespectful Canadian, especially after they're trying to, you know, make this belt relevant again. So I'm going to say John Cena, and that's my lock of the night.
Interesting. All right. I mean, before we get to Zach's picks, I mean, I just gotta say, I mean, typically, okay, I would agree with you. Okay, the U.S. title was made for John Cena. He's an all-American face. He's the Superman of the WWE. I mean, he's the all-loving, all-knowing, all-American hero. I mean, who wouldn't want him to be U.S. champion? That's why I'm saying having Owens as the disrespectful Canadian champion, and then having Cena chase him to try and get the belt back that means so much to him, I think would make for an even more interesting storyline rather than just having Cena defeat all comers. But that's just my take on it. All right, what's Zach's pick for the U.S. title match?
Zach has Owens. And also, I got Julian's picks in, so
all right.
We'll just catch you up on those.
Right.
So he has Owens in this match.
All right.
He's going with the Primetime Players.
Okay.
And he's going with Barrett.
Okay. All right. So now we got Julian's up-to-date picks. All right. I mean, I'm honestly a little surprised Zach's going with Owens. I figured he would go with Cena too for pretty much the same reasons you were speaking of. All right, Greg or Penn, what are your picks for this match?
Well, I think this one's kind of obvious. John Cena. I noticed that he wrestles and wins a lot. John Cena.
Wow.
Oh, man, I didn't know Greg was picking Cena. Can I change my pick?
Yeah, a little late for that, Brian. Wow. All right. Okay, man. All right. So moving on, we come to what's been a long-building grudge match: Randy Orton versus Sheamus. Now, this more or less came about at Money in the Bank, but it's been building for a long time. Sheamus has just had a problem with Orton, and Orton admits that there's no one who's really got under his skin as much as Sheamus has. So pretty much, this is just a fight between two men who just want to beat the bejesus out of each other. They don't. There's no overarching storyline. There's no deeper reason. This is two guys who want to beat the tar out of each other, and I honestly can't blame them for that. Do we have the graphic for Orton and Sheamus? Orton and Sheamus?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Brian.
Okay, there we go. There we go. Oh, okay.
Brian left his switcher all alone.
Hey, Greg, hands off the switcher.
He got a drink, though. He's good now.
Okay, hands off the switcher. Okay, there you go. All right, like I said, there's no overarching storyline. This is just two men in Orton and Sheamus who want to beat the tar out of each other, who just want to fight. Now, the problem with this match is, because no one's really thrilled with this match, because we've seen Orton versus Sheamus face off a number of times, dozens of times in the last few years, and it just seems like no matter how much they try to change things up, they just seem to fall into a familiar rhythm. They don't seem to have that chemistry that like with Rollins and Ambrose. You can expect something a little different each time, but with Orton and Sheamus, we get pretty much the same thing. So I'm not altogether thrilled for this match, but it should be a serviceable pay-per-view match. We might see a little something different, but not too much. Anyway, now typically the way WWE books Money in Bank winners, they like to make them look weak, building up to a cash-in. However, I don't see Sheamus' cash-in as being like immediate right away. I see it like being later down the line, like post SummerSlam. I don't see this being a cash-in right away. So I think they need to do a little building up so that he remains a credible threat to whoever is the WWE World Champion. So in that respect, I'm going to go with Sheamus here Sheamus to take the win. I mean, I imagine this will probably continue into SummerSlam, but right now here, I'm gonna give Sheamus the victory. All right, Brian, what's your pick for this brutal grudge match?
Yeah, the reason why they don't have much chemistry is because they're pretty much the same guy. You know, they're built the same, they're the same height, they have like the similar moveset. So I hope this is just a one-off because, like you said, we see it all the time. I do think this is just a way to make Sheamus look stronger, so I'm going to go with Sheamus.
All right, and Zach and Julian's picks?
So Zach is going Sheamus, and Julian is actually going Orton.
Oh, okay. At least Julian's trying to be different. I mean, ironically enough, I'm imagining he's probably the only one that actually went with Orton. But let's go to Greg and Penn anyway and see what they decided on.
So I noticed that Brian said they're basically the same guy, and Sheamus only has one name, so I think he's a more efficient fighter. And I think that it's going to be a long match, and he'll be less winded at the end because of his efficiency. So Sheamus.
And there's another lovely logic bomb from Mr. Greg Dolan. Thank you. All right. Now moving on to the next match. Now this one is personal. This one I think is the dark horse. This one could be the surprise of the evening. Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt, who of course, as you know, I credit for my fashion choice. This all started at Money in the Bank, where Bray Wyatt came out of nowhere when Roman Reigns was seemingly closing in on a Money in the Bank victory, only for Wyatt to sweep the ladder from under him and cost him the match. Now, Wyatt's promos tend to be rambling. They don't really tend to make a whole lot of sense. But the crux of what Wyatt's been trying to say is that, okay, he wants to build up Reigns back to where he once was when the Wyatts and the Shield were feuding, to be the aggressor, to be the no-nonsense, hard-hitting guy he once was. Not the softy, not the tea-drinking Father of the Year type, Father's Day type, but just the hard-hitting, soft-spoken aggressor that he was when he was part of the Shield. Now, I think this makes sense in a meta sort of way, because people have been complaining about how Roman Reigns' characterization post-Shield breakup has been flagging. And this feud with Wyatt has really, I think, in my mind, built Reigns back up as a credible threat. It's built him back into a main event level position. It has made him more, and especially it has helped him reconnect with the WWE audience, who have grown more and more behind Reigns as time has gone on in this feud with Wyatt. Now, however, you saw how Wyatt played the mind games with Reigns, how he seemingly got the upper hand on Reigns week after week. The photos of him and his daughter, of the pretend tea parties, and just all in all, just getting into Reigns' head. I mean, this is the first real opponent that's really undermined Reigns' power and strength. This is the first supernatural opponent he's run into, rather than just another guy with brute strength or cunning like Seth Rollins or Brock Lesnar. This is the first, I think, real test for Reigns as a WWE main eventer, and I think it's going to be interesting to see. I don't see this is going to be a one-off match. I really don't believe this is going to be a one-off match. I think Wyatt's going to have some underhanded means in store for Reigns. He's going to take the first match, and we'll see a rematch down the line at SummerSlam where Reigns can get a win on a bigger stage. So I'm going with Wyatt here. I think he'll have some underhanded means. He'll get the win. He'll get a semi-clean win over Reigns, and we'll keep this thing rolling into SummerSlam. Ooh. Oh, nice upbeat tune. Okay, Brian, as soon as you're done jamming them on, all right, what's your pick for Reigns versus Wyatt?
Well, like you said, I don't think this is going to be a one-off, so this is a toss-up because I think they're probably going to do it 3 times. It's going to be a rubber match. I'm going to go with Reigns. But I think that you're wrong and that it's going to be a good match. I think it's going to be a stinker. I don't think these guys have had enough time in the ring together on live television. I don't think they've wrestled yet on live TV. for this feud. So I think it's going to be a big stinker, but I'm going to go with Reigns.
Okay, so you're going with Reigns. Let's get Zach and Julian's take on this match.
Zach is going with Wyatt, and Julian is going with Reigns.
Ooh, so we definitely got a little bit of a divisive nature for this match. All right, Greg and Penn. What's your pick for this?
So I don't usually like to go against alliterative wrestlers because I think they have it together. So I'm going to go with Roman Reigns.
He's going with Roman Reigns. All right, so I mean we got 3 for Roman, we got 2 for Wyatt. Like I said, it's a little split down the middle right here. This should like I said, this will be a very interesting match. I really think this, like I said, I think this will be a more impressive a match than people are giving it credit for. But like I said, we'll see on Sunday. All right, now we come to the main event. That is the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins, the Architect, and the future of WWE versus the Beast, the Conqueror, the soon-to-be reigning, defending WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Brock Lesnar. Sorry, I couldn't do Paulie Heyman justice. I apologize. But anyway, moving on. Okay, since Lesnar has returned, we've seen him turn over a new leaf of sorts. We saw him apologize to JBL and give a playful little noogie to Michael Cole. I mean, we've seen him come out with this. We've seen him take the Suplex City meme to absolute new lengths with his iconic Suplex City T-shirts, which actually I love, by the way. I mean, we've seen Lesnar in a new role. We've seen him as the monster face. We've seen him as the domineering face to the cocky, smarmy heel that is Seth Rollins. Now, we've seen how the storyline play out, interestingly enough, with the Authority, i.e. Kane and J&J Security, helping Rollins to lay out Lesnar 1 week, only for Rollins to come back for Lesnar to come back and wreck J&J's gift from Rollins, which was a $55,000 brand new car, which Lesnar absolutely tore apart with axes, tore the doors off its hinges, and when J&J tried to come save their precious car, Lesnar took them out. Broke Jamie Noble's arm with Kimura lock, suplexed Joey Mercury onto the car, putting him through the windshield, putting J&J Security on the shelf. Then the following week, this week, at the contract signing, where Kane and Rollins tried to ambush Lesnar once again, Lesnar would drive off Rollins, and then in a shocking moment, laid out Kane with an F5, put his leg on the steel steps, and using the upper half of the steel steps, breaking Kane's leg, effectively eliminating Kane, putting Kane on the shelf as well. So Rollins has got no help. He's got no Kane, no J&J Security. Rollins is on his own for this match. And yes, I'm loving the music too. Thank you very much. Anyway, Rollins has got no help for this match against Lesnar. It's mano y mano, or mano y pisto in this case. And I gotta say, I don't see, once again, I don't see this being a one-stop. Okay, something screwy is gonna happen here. Something's gonna happen, okay, where, okay, Rollins may end up losing, Rollins loses, but he still comes away with the championship. I mean, something's got to happen here. If there's no Kane, there's no J&J Security, there's got to be something more. I mean, we could see Triple H, we could see like an outside interference, we could see Sheamus get involved as a tease to his cashing in the Money Bank. But something's going to happen here that does give Lesnar the win, but not the championship. So what I'm trying to get at is, I predict Lesnar's going to win, but it's going to be by disqualification. I don't believe he's going to come away with a championship. I mean, like I said, I'm going with Lesnar to get the win, but I don't think he's going to come away with a championship here. That's my take. All right, Brian. Main event time. What's your pick?
I'm going to go with Rollins, but like the Wyatt and Reigns, I think this is going to go more than one match. They'll probably do it 3 times. So the winner here won't be the winner at SummerSlam. But I'm going to take a shot in the dark and go Rollins, and that's going to be my lock of the night.
That's your lock. That's your lock. Oh, hey, wait a minute. You already used your lock of the night.
No, I didn't.
You said Cena was your lock of the night.
Oh yeah, sorry. You're
Not.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Julian's got the extra lock.
Julian's lock of the night is Rollins.
All right, Julian's.
And he's not using his extra lock tonight.
Okay. And Zach's
And Zach is going with Rollins, and that's his lock as well.
These guys always going for the main event with their locks of the night.
Show-offs.
Show-offs, yeah. Yeah, who do they think they are? Dolph Ziggler? Yeah, by the way, he's on the shelf. So, yeah, great inspiration there. All right, and last and least, I'm just kidding. Okay, Greg and Penn, what's your pick for our main event?
So I'm gonna go Brock Lesnar because his name is closest to my workout partners. That would be Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So I'm going with Brock Lesnar.
Oh, okay, yeah. There's a little wrestling logic, but still a bomb. Okay. So now.
And Julian sent in his final match length, so why not get that on the air this week? Julian's is 29 minutes.
29? Wow.
29 minutes. Well, the Ambrose Rollins match was like almost a half hour, longer than a half hour.
Well, that was a ladder match also, so I mean.
True. And my final match length is 25 minutes and 30 seconds. And Greg is going 25 minutes.
Of course. All right, and I'm gonna go with 22 minutes for my match length time for the main event time tiebreaker, as we call it.
And we're still waiting on Zach's, but we'll have that updated.
All right, so mine's 22 minutes. All right, so like I said, folks, that is the pay-per-preview for WWE Battlegrounds. Like I said, if you have any comments or suggestions or predictions of your own, you can email us at wrestlingconnection@gmail.com. Now, before we sign off on today's episode, there are actually a couple of points there are also a couple of interesting pieces I wanted to bring up for from this week in Ken's Den. Like I said, before we sign off on this week's episode, a couple interesting pieces. Now, I mean, we all know about the untimely passing of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, WWE legend and Hall of Famer. We hadn't seen Cody Rhodes, his son, also known as Stardust. We hadn't seen him on there for a couple weeks, obviously mourning alongside his brother and the rest of their family. Okay, hold it. Yeah, Okay, here we go. And, I mean, it's understandable, okay? They wanted to give Cody a few weeks off, give him time to mourn and come back. And most people were thinking that, okay, they were gonna go the same road as when Chavo Guerrero, back in 2005, when Eddie Guerrero passed away. Chavo Guerrero was in the midst of playing this new heel called Current White, where he had completely shed his Latino roots, going a full like white bread middle class American type role, which didn't get over with anyone. It felt completely flat. It was a horrible gimmick. No one bought it for a second, and it was many found it highly offensive in real life that Chavo would shed his Latino roots to play an angle like this. When Eddie Guerrero passed away, it gave more or less Chavo Guerrero a chance to renew himself, to go back to his roots as Chavo Guerrero, as part of the Guerrero family legacy. And many people felt that all was right with the world when that happened. Now, here in the same realm, people were expecting Cody to shed his Stardust persona and harken back to just being regular Cody Rhodes. Now, while I can understand the sentiment, the difference here is that Cody has actually established a great character in Stardust. He came up with a whole new moveset for Stardust. He came up with this whole new quirky personality that even outshone Goldust at his most bizarre. And people could not believe how quirky and funny this Stardust character could be. So, I mean, what I'm saying is the fact that Cody came back as Stardust, I don't think it should be considered a slight. I don't think people should be harping over Cody. I think people should be praising Cody for the fact that he decided to keep going with a character that people seem to forget. Stardust was a character of Dusty Rhodes when he was coming up in the wrestling world. So the fact is, Cody is doing this as a tribute to his father. Every promo he does, every mannerism, and even just his character in general is a tribute to his late father. And like I said, we here at the Wrestling Connection I applaud Cody. I'm sure Zach and Julian applaud Cody. I think it's great what he's doing here with it, keeping to his Stardust character. And look, I mean, if he does like shed it later down the line and go back to being Cody, then again, good for him. It was his choice. I don't think the fans should be dictating how Cody should be doing things, whether or not he should go back to being Cody Rhodes or staying as Stardust. I think good for Cody, good for his character, good for the Rhodes family, that Cody keep doing what you're doing. We all love you, regardless whether you're Cody Rhodes or Stardust. All right, now the second part of my Ken's Den here, it concerns the recent revolution in the Divas division. I mean, you see here, I mean, you have several NXT upstarts and stalwarts in Charlotte, the daughter of Hall of Famer Nature Boy Ric Flair. You have Becky Lynch. You also have the current NXT champion, the Boss, Sasha Banks. You have three very credible female wrestlers. I'm not talking divas. I'm talking female wrestlers that NXT has cultivated in the last couple of years, who made their impact on Raw by making Team Bella, that is Alicia Fox, Brie Bella, and the Divas champion Nikki Bella, all tap out simultaneously. That's what I think was a great impact. However, just how things went down, the fact that Stephanie McMahon was the one to introduce these three divas, not have them make singles debuts, not to have them make their own individual impacts, have them all come out kind of like saturated the impact of the event. I'm not saying it wasn't exciting seeing these three divas in the ring making the Raw divas tap out, making the Bellas and Alicia Fox tap out. I thought that was a great moment. But the fact that you had Stephanie introducing him and not Paige, who's been at the crux of the whole the divas need change in the WWE. Something has to change concerning the divas division. That was all Paige's movement, not Stephanie's. And for Stephanie to kind of just get in there and just kind of like overtake all this is kind of like, I think, an affront to women's wrestling, because she's trying to capitalize on this and make this seem about like women in general. This is just about Paige trying to change things in the divas division, and here is Stephanie trying to equate this to women's soccer, to other women's sports, the revolution of women's sports. I mean, and just, I don't like that Stephanie's trying to make this about herself in the WWE. All right, that it offends me as a fan that, okay, we're seeing a great thing for women's wrestling here. We're seeing the NXT divas make their mark on mainstream WWE programming, and it just seems, and again, it's Stephanie trying to make things about herself. Okay, like I said, Stephanie, step to the side, let the NXT divas do their own thing, let them establish themselves on their own merit, not by your word, but by their own words and by their actions in the ring, like here, for example. That's all I have to say about that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of another exciting, thrilling episode of the Wrestling Connection. Like I said, if you have any comments or ideas or predictions for the upcoming WWE Battlegrounds pay-per-view, you can hit us up at wrestlingconnection@gmail.com. You can also check out our official Facebook page, The Wrestling Connection, at facebook.com/The Wrestling Connection. And you can check out this Sunday as we do live coverage on our official Facebook page for the WWE Battlegrounds Pay-Per-PreView. Or you can also hit us up at our official Twitter page at WConnection. We'll be making comments throughout Sunday night of the pay-per-view. And you can also check out our official YouTube channel, the Wrestling Connection. We can check out all of our present and past episodes, along with several specials and live event videos, such as our tribute to the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, and of course our 1 year special. Like I said, folks, that is all for this week. I welcome you to join us this Sunday for the WWE Battlegrounds pay-per-view. I look forward to the outcome. I look forward to the pay-per-view. And as always, be connected, get connected, stay connected. You have a good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yeah!